protect my children, allow me to go to Hajj this year. By the way, forgive that brother. Forgive that brother. That brother that offended you, that brother that disappointed you, that sister that did that to you, said that to you, ask dua for her. SubhanAllah. What a standard for a leader. And then on top of everything else, you see what happens is, when there's a organizational conflict between the leader and a follower, any follower, then of course, after the event, even if you forgive them, it's not the same as it used to be before the incident. So the leader, the manager, the emir, the president, whoever, they may not ask suggestions of the follower like they used to. It's not like before. So the follower feels like, man, he used to take my opinion. He used to ask me to do things. It's not like it was. Ever since I've made that mistake, things have changed. So there's this bad feeling inside whose heart? The follower's heart. Even though he's been forgiven, there's still a bad feeling. Allah doesn't even want that feeling. He commands His messenger, now listen to this, He commands His messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَشَاوِرْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ. Take their counsel, take their opinion when you make a decision. We're talking about the messenger of Allah. He's a leader, but first he's the messenger of Allah. When he makes a decision, is it based on whims? What is it based on? Wahi, revelation. When he makes a decision, he doesn't need anybody's opinion. But to make that follower's heart cleansed, to make him close again, to keep that cohesion, Allah Azza wa Jal commands His Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, وَشَاوِرْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ. Take their opinion, take their counsel when you make a decision. And it is clear that in fact the decision lies in whose hands? The messenger. He is the actual authority. So Allah adds, clarifies, فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ. He didn't say فَإِذَا عَزَمْتُمْ. He says فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ. When you have made a decision, when you have reached resolve, then put your trust in Allah. When you've reached a decision. But still, make the followers feel included, genuinely included, because it's a command of Allah. How many of our leaders take opinions? How many of our leaders, when they are given an opinion, they get annoyed? Yes, thank you, brother. Anyway, what was the other item? And you just move on. This is not the opinion section. Or this matter has already been decided. Or whatever. We hate people's suggestions. We hate them. We feel as though they are a footprint on our ego. This guy is trying to put me down by giving me a suggestion. If you understand that you are not there for yourself, you are there for who? You're a slave of Allah. And that guy is also a slave of Allah. And you two slaves are working to serve Allah, then you will not feel offended by opinions. But if you feel you are the leader, you've made a decision, this is your project, and then somebody gives you an opinion, how dare they? They're stepping on your territory. So this is an issue really of the mindset. What happens is we come into Islamic projects with sincere intentions, but over time we start owning them. My masjid, my board, my committee, my this, my that. The ego comes in. Serving Allah disappears. It starts fading away into the background, and I come into the picture. I need to have the mic right after the khutbah is done. Why did he make the announcements? He shouldn't have done that. He wasn't authorized by me. That's what happens. So these are some characteristics of leaders. Then a little bit about what I wanted to share with you was about meetings. In any organization, one of the most important gathering is the meeting. MSAs have meetings. Volunteer da'wah organizations have meetings. Masjid have meetings. And you know what? Most of our problems exist because we don't know how to hold a meeting. We don't know how to hold a meeting. Allah Azza wa Jal gives us such beautiful advice about meetings. Now listen to this. Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu, oh those of you who believe, إِذَا قِيلَ لَكُمْ تَفَسَّحُوا فِي الْمَجَالِسِ فَافْسَحُوا يَفْسَحِ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ. Those of you who believe, when it is said to you, spread out in the meeting. Spread out. Spaces between each other. Then spread out. May Allah spread between you, meaning spread love and mercy between you. Unity between you. So you don't sit in the meeting smack next to each other, you sit apart. You know the strategy, the reason? One person speaking at the meeting. Two people that are friends walk into the meeting, late. Do they sit together or apart? They sit together. But if everybody's spread out, where do they have to sit? Apart. When they sit apart, can they talk to each other? No. But when they sit together, 5 people walk into a meeting late. And by the way, the latecomers are usually the troublemakers too. So they come in late, and they sit, their little clique sits in the corner somewhere by themselves. And the leader is talking and they're going, or they're, playing, they're making paper balls and throwing them at each other. Or they're talking among each other. Or they're smirking at the comments of other people. Or they're whispering to each other, making the leader look incompetent. Undermining the whole process. A great strategy, spread out. So when the latecomer comes in, he's sitting between 2 serious people like a prisoner. Right? But then even more important, وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَكُمُ انشُزُوا, when it is said to you, leave, disperse, unshuzu, get out, go away. When it is said to you, go away. Why? There's a meeting. I'll make a hypothetical meeting, okay? There's a meeting, we're going to build a basketball court in the masjid, or at the masjid. There's a meeting going on, and you have an opinion about this thing. You don't think basketball courts should exist because they are haram or something. But you don't say anything in the meeting. So you listen to the whole meeting, they take a vote, and they approve it. Any objections? No objections. The meeting is done. You go to your best friend. Man, these people don't even know it's haram. I keep telling them. Did you say anything at the meeting? No. You went to your friend who likes to listen to you. You get in the car as you're leaving the meeting and you say, man, I keep telling them they don't listen. He goes, yeah, man, they don't listen. And now you're having a meeting after the meeting. Right? This is your meeting after the meeting. And what this does, now what happens is, let's call this other guy and tell him basketball courts are haram too. By the way, they're not. Okay, but so anyway, they call this third guy. And now they have their sub-meeting. Before next meeting, we should come to a conclusion that this decision was wrong. So now they come pre-prepared, a group from among the larger meeting group, with an agenda that they've already set on the side when they met by themselves. By the way, this is called najwa. This is called najwa. And this is a satanic thing. Why? This destroys the unity of a community. People realize that these guys are always on the same team. Our people are smart. They're not dumb. When you come into enough meetings and you guys are always ganged up together, people figure it out. So you know what other people do? Oh yeah? You want to make your team? We'll have our meeting after the meeting. We'll make our team. And eventually one board, one group, one executive committee turns into 2. Happens all the time. Why does it happen? Because what is discussed in the meeting is not taken as an amana. These majalis, these meetings, they are a trust. So your friend calls you and says, let's talk about that thing we talked about at the meeting. You say, no. We will talk about it at the next meeting in front of everyone. If you want to talk about it, talk to the Amir directly. Don't talk to anybody else. Or talk to everybody at the same time. But do not talk to each other about it. Because now you are being unfair to the community. You are the fitna. You think everybody else is the fitna? If you do this, you're the fitna. You're the problem. This is one big problem in our communities. We have secret gatherings. We have executive committees within executive committees that are trying to outdo the other. Then on top of this, we have one. What this means is, instead of appreciating the fact that we're coming together for the sake of Allah, whatever our ignorance, our mistakes, our shortcomings, our misunderstandings, even of Islam may be, we are waiting for our fellow volunteer to make a mistake. We're waiting for it. And as soon as they do, you know what we're going to do? Aha! I knew you weren't qualified. You see what you did? Email the world about it. Put it on the Masjid homepage. Maybe even pass out a flyer after Jummah. Because this person made a mistake. You see what this person did? Let me tell you. May Allah forgive him. Let me tell you. So we have, what I'm trying to say then is, we have no mercy towards each other. We are very cutthroat. All for volunteering for the sake of Allah? Does this make any sense? To be cutthroat, to be this merciless, serving Allah's religion? Is this what the religion does? Allah Azza wa Jal describes